Hello and welcome. I'm Adrian Gregan, and I'm back for more Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. Today we're here at Episode 4, and last time... Well, last time we went to a beach, we had a great time. We went to an aquarium, we got some lovely little interactions, and we had a whole lot of fun. We went on a plane, we got protected by spirits, and we just had a great time, honestly. It was just a very relaxing, nice episode, and... nothing bad happened. So this time I expect to Gege to continue the trend of nothing bad happening, as in my nice, happy, lighthearted shonen. And yeah, we're just gonna see what fun antics are gonna continue in our flashback arc with Gojo, with Gojo. Wait, didn't something happen to Gojo? Yeah, I must be misremembering. This is only happy times in our JJK Season 2. Only great times in this nice little flashback arc. And no trauma whatsoever. If you are new here, I do full reactions. I don't edit them down. However, on YouTube, the visuals will be altered for copyright. The unaltered version will be in the description. However, the episode breakdown, the discussion will only be on YouTube. So if you click that link, make sure you come back here afterwards to hear my thoughts. And if you want to participate in the conversation, please do leave a comment on the episode, on something I say. Whatever it is, I would be happy to open discourse with you. Please do like the video if you enjoy it. It helps with the algorithm, and it helps show me that you enjoy the content I'm making. And if you really enjoy it, then subscribe. It's the easiest way to get notified whenever new content of mine comes out. If you like it, a spoiler, I'll be making more of it. It's my content. So, with all that housekeeping out of the way, though, let's just... finally hop back into JJK Season 2. Where nothing bad ever happens. They're gonna make us relive this. Okay. That's great. And we're gonna follow them with the camera. Okay, that's very necessary. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Hello, Fushidio.
Kaisen.
Hi, otsukare.
なんでって。ああ、そういう意味ね。
Well, Gojo, let's see your crush out. Oh my god. He is unfazed. That's a good sign. Wow. And he's still going for the kill. Wow. That was smooth. He's like, come on, that's not it, is it? God. He is a great villain. I utterly despise him, but I'm enjoying despising him more than I usually do. Ay. I wonder if we'll get more Shoko coming in. I wonder where she is right now. And what's gonna happen with Gojo too. It's always really fun when a flashback arc has this disconnect with reality and what we're seeing. It happened with JJK Zero where Geto freaking died, and now it's happening here with Gojo freaking dying. Akutami really likes killing people we know aren't dead. I wonder if there's a connection as to why they both died. Or if this is just... I wonder if this will go away showing... will subtly explain to us why Geto isn't dead in the present day, by showing how Gojo survived this. Perhaps something akin to a reverse technique for healing. But I'm not gonna theorize too much on that. I'm much prefer living in the moment, even if this is not a moment I particularly want to live in.
入り口に見張りは置けない。
Give it away.
扉の位置さえ分かっちまえばあとはザル。この時期から術師は忙しくなるし、今高専には妖刀が溢れている。外はてんやわんやさ。磁力のない俺は透明人間みたいなもんだ。でも一つ問題があってな。俺が呪具を持つと呪具の磁力で透明人間じゃなくなっちまう。
They can just sense the tool. They can use that.
話の続きだ。
I'm not done.
俺は格納できる呪霊を飼っててな。呪具はそっちに入れて持ち歩いてる。
Just like our first Gojo.
それじゃあ今度は呪霊の磁力で透明じゃなくなっちまうってんだろ。呪霊に自らの体を格納させてサイズを落とす。
Okay.
それを俺の腹の中にしまう。透明人間は臓物まで透明だろ。これで俺はあらゆる呪具を携帯したまま結界を素通りできる。
Huh. So he's able to mask
はじめ
it.
に呪具を使用しなかったのはそういうことだ。
Interesting.
陸眼相手の奇襲は透明なままじゃねえと意味ないからな。星漿体を先にやってもよかったんだが、陸眼の視界に入るのはリスクが。
もういい。天与呪縛だろう。術師と同様に情報の開示が能力の底上げになることは知っている。
Oh.
私が聞きたいのはそこじゃない。
It works for Heavenly Pacts too.
なぜ恒星宮へ続く扉が分かった。私たちは毛ほども残影を残さなかった。
人間が残す痕跡は残影だけじゃねえ。集積、足跡、
Yeah.
五感も呪縛で底上げされてんだよ。
途中に女性が一人いた
Gets
は
his
ず。
senses, not just his body.
彼女はどうした？
ん？
Hmm.
ああ、あのメイドか。多分死んでる。生かす気も殺す気もなかったけどな。運良きゃ生きてんじゃね。
そうか。やはりお前は死ね。
Just a bit. Something tells me he is not dying anytime soon, though. Well, he might die here, but certainly not easily. Oh my god, now we're in Star Wars. What in the world? Those are just laser blasts. Wow. The wave. He's got some big ass cursed spirits. What the heck are those? Oh, they're not lasers, they're spirits too.
最高高度の交流だぞ。
Yeah, he's a monster.
操術。無謀だな。
Absolute monster. Is that who's in the opening? The person walking? Oh.
仮想音響。質問に答えるので、お互いに不可侵を強制する簡易領域か。ああ。
Forces non-violence.
ここはあえて趣味じゃねえ。そういう感じね。バカが終わりだな。
お前がな。呪霊操術。合木した呪霊を取り込み、自在に操る。
He's gonna try to absorb
階級換算で
his
2級以上の
weapons?
差があれば、
Oh,
合
this
木を省き、ほぼ無
spirit
条
holding
件
his
で取り込める。
weapons?
能力は特殊だが、呪霊自体は強くない。取り込める。
Hmm.
武器庫は抑えた。あとは物量
But
で。
he's still right there. Ooh. Calling him a monster doesn't even feel appropriate. What is this guy? Unreal.
術師なら死なねえ程度に切った。式神使いなら殺したが、呪霊操術となるとな。お前の死後、取り込んでた呪霊がどうなるかはわからん。
Oh, interesting. Better to maim
こ
him.
こで面倒事は避けたい。親に恵まれたな。
Smart.
だが、その恵まれたお前らが
Please stop
技
showing
術の
that.
使えねえ俺みたいな猿に負けたってこと。長生きしたきゃ忘れんな。
Yeah, that really goes against President Geto's worldview.
ああ、恵みって。そうだった、そうだった。
Megumi, his son? Yeah. I just remembered I have a son. Oh well. Okay, so where and when are we now? This is after?
聖書体、天内理子の遺体、5体フルセットだ。
Jeez. So what happens to the...
金の受け渡しは手はず通りに。多少色もつけよう。
さすが教祖様、太っ腹だね。
教祖じゃねえよ。
ああ、
マジか。
He does not care.
必要経費とはいえ、かなり協力してもらったのにか。むしろごねられると思ったぜ。私たちはダメ元で君に暗殺を依頼した。万世教は奈良時代、天元様が日本仏教の広がりとともに、術師というマイノリティに対する道徳基盤を説いたのが始まりだ。呪術界と宗教法人の相性は最悪。その歪みから生まれたのが、現在の万世教、時の器の会。
Time
だから我々は非術師の立場に徹している。様々な越見を許されている術師も、
I think that's what the alternate name they referred to as in episode 1.
だが時が来てしまった。経典に示されたタブー、絶対的一神教へとなり果てた万世教、その対象である天元様と汚れの動画。
Tengen.
京都の手前、どうかを見過ごせば会が立ち行かなくなる。かといって行動が過ぎれば術師に潰される。もうやけくそだったんだよ、我々は。それがどうだ。失うはずだった全てが今や手中にある。
All or nothing.
紐も緩むというもの。もし天元が暴走すれば立ち行かなくなるのは人間社会かもしれねえぜ。星と共に落ちるのならばやむなし。
Price he's willing to pay to awaken his god. Jesus. They don't care. Whatever the world changes to, they'll survive.
沖縄の件か。
ああ、
なんであん時メイド殺さなかった。俺言ったよな。適当に遠く連れてって適当に殺せ。
あの時お前のプランがなんとなく理解できたからな。メイド救出失敗の緊張より成功の緩みの方が削りとしてでかいと判断した。上位形をぶらしてこっちの狙いを動かすのは散々やってきたことだろう。結果オーライ。つか仲介役こき使ってんじゃねえよ。
いや、なんで沖縄なんだよ。
そりゃ俺も笑った。捕らえた人間運ぶなら普通車だよな。公共交通機関はリスク高いし。なんとプライベートジェット、会長の私物だとよ。
だとしてもだろう。
金持ちは考え方のスケールが違う。
その金で飯食おう。接待に使ってる店連れてけよ。
やだよ、お前男におごんねえじゃん。お前と関わるのはな、仕事か地獄でだけって決めてんだよ。
For worker in hell. Different kinds of hell.
あ
Gojo?
よう久しぶり。マジか。
What?
大マジ元気ピンピンだよ。反転術式せっかい。お前に喉ぶち抜かれた時反撃は諦めて反転術式に全神経を注いだ。重力は負のエネルギー。肉体の強化はできても再生することはできない。だから負のエネルギー同士を掛け合わせて正のエネルギーを生む。それが
That's why
反
it's called
転術式。
reverse.
言う
Changing
は
negative to a
安し
positive.
俺も今ま
What?
でできたことねえよ。まるで唯一できるやつは何ってさっぱりだしな。
The one person, Shoko?
ハイになってる。だが死に際で掴んだ重力の確信。お前の敗因は俺を首ちょんぱしなかったことと頭をぶっ刺すのにあの呪具を使わなかったこと。敗因。勝負はこれからだろう。
Why do I doubt that?
そうだな。
The way that Gojo looks. Lost it. And yeah, you can already tell
術式反転。
Fushidio's lost all control. Even though like he seems perfectly controlled, just the framing and his expressions, you can tell he's lost this fight. He's completely lost control of the situation. What the?
化け物が。
What am I looking at? Oh god. God, those back muscles.
今の
Ugh.
衝撃波が
Makes me uncomfortable.
術式反転赤か。反転術式によって生まれた正のエネルギーをてめえに刻まれた無加減の術式に流し込んだってわけか。
Huh.
1、止める力。ニュートラルな無加減事実。2、
Control.
引き寄せる力。強化
Back,
した無
putting
加
it
減
back.
事実。
Yeah.
青。
And the reversal, which is the repel, yeah.
術式
Oh,
反転赤。
interesting. Huh.
全て
Very cool.
問題なし。
And then there's purple. The power to create a nuclear bomb. But I don't think he can do that quite yet. What, the part that he doesn't look worried at all? The fact that this is clearly going very different from the last one. Which one is off, Bushidio? I think there's a lot of things that's off. Like, I'd argue nothing's not off right now. Look at this guy. He's just a piece.
ごめん、あまない。俺は今、お前のために怒ってない。誰も憎んじゃいない。
He is at peace.
今はただただ、この世界が心地いい。
I just got chills.
天上天下、唯我独尊。
That line again.
代々伝わる送電の術式のメリットは取説があること。デメリットは術式の情報が漏れやすいこと。あんた全員家の人間だろう。無加減呪術のことはよく知ってるわけだ。だがこれは五条家の中でもごく一部の人間しか知らない。
Piano in the background.
順転と反転。
We are gonna see it?
を衝突させることで生成される仮想の質量を押し出す。
Is this gonna be his first purple?
紫。
Combining repelling and attraction.
違和感。
No
た
shit.
だ働きなんてごめんだね。いつもの俺ならそう言ってとんずらこいた。
だが
for some reason.
目の前には覚醒した無加減呪術の使い
The
手
freshly awakened.
おそらく現
ruler.
代最強となった術師
Yeah.
否定したくなったねじ伏せてみたくなった俺を否定した全員家呪術界その頂点を
My emotions got the better of me.
いつもの自分を曲げちまったその時点で負けていた
His face is just regretful. Bro, your torso is gone. He just reaches
そ
for
れ
it.
は捨てたろ
You're
自分
only
の
human,
他人
though.
を尊ぶことないそういう生き方を選んだんだろうが
Without respecting yourself or anyone else. Discarding emotion to do what you need to
最後
do.
に言い残すことはあるか？
ねえよ
I was gonna say, I don't know if he does. He lived exactly as he wanted to. Only one way a person like that can die.
2、3年もしたら俺のガキが全員家に売られる好きにしろ
No. And he just dies. Just like that. He saved his son. He saved his own son. I mean, not exactly, right? He caused that mess, but he effectively directed Gojo to rescue his son in his final moments. Huh. Huh. Post-credit scene? Ghetto. That's right, because... Yeah, I guess he got blasted too, huh? Ugh, blood red sunset. So what happens with Tengen, though? Where are you going to in such a rush? Don't tell me he's gonna be their god. He's taking the place of Tengen. He is, isn't he?
悟だよな何があった
Sparkle.
ああ直してもらった私は問題ないいや私に問題がなくても仕方ないな
俺がしくった。お前は悪くない。
戻ろう
すぐる、こいつら殺すか？
There is no emotion in his eyes.
いい意味がない見た
The
ところ
difference between those two
こ
is
こには
stark.
万教徒しかいない呪術界を
Gojo
知る
just
人半分の人間は
blank.
もう逃げた後だろう
Geto is conflicted. Yeah, his eyes like
この状況は
shaking.
言い逃れできない。もともと問題のあった団体だ。次期解体される。意味ね。それ本当に必要か？
Oh.
大事なことだ。特に術師にはな。
意外な一面って慣用句を考えた人は人
That
間
was
を
a
理解だと思
chilling
ってて、
scene.
薄っぺらいって悪口を考えた人は人間を平面だと思ってたのかな。次回翌節、どちらにせよ裏と表はある
Premature
んだね。
death. Okay, that was JJK Season 2, Episode 4. What an episode. Oh, quite a lot happened. Yeah, we're gonna skip past this. Just gonna go straight past that. What an interesting dichotomy between Geto, who's clearly conflicted about so many things and cling to his humanity, and Gojo, who's just released it. Between our antagonist and our protagonist. Completely switched roles, in a sense. How interesting. So he basically hides the cursed spirit inside of him, acting as a veil for it, and it holds its weapon. It holds his weapons. That is so interesting. So we learned some interesting thing about Heavenly Pacts. For him, at the very least, it enhances his senses, not just his abilities. And also, just like a sorcerer Jujutsu technique, a curse technique, he can enhance it by explaining it. I mean, obviously we get this animation. We get... These are so interesting. Like, I thought they were laser beams, but it seems like they're... Yeah, they're little curses. Oh my god. I hate him, but he gives us some crazy action scenes. And this is another one of his. And he doesn't kill him because it could be a problem. We don't know what happens to the curse techniques afterwards. A monotheistic religion worshipping one absolute god. That god is Tengen. So we have to do whatever we can to make sure that that god is realized. No amount of money is worth more than that. Even society might crumble. Well, it's our holy mission. And these guys barely care because whatever world is, they'll adapt and overcome. Well, Kushidio won't. He's not quite alive enough. This is an interesting thought. The relief from the maid's successful venture would wear him down more than the heightened tensions. Because wearing someone down isn't just about stressing them out, isn't just about using their energy. It's also... The thing about adrenaline is the more stress there is, the more you need to accomplish something, the more the height or the tension, the more the adrenaline pumps, right? It's very difficult to wear someone out while adrenaline is pumping through them and while they're pumping more adrenaline into their body. But once you accomplish your mission, once the stress fades, the adrenaline is gone, that's when you get worn out. Now, there are obviously different levels of wearing out while you're still trying to exert yourself, but it's a much higher bar than if you accomplish something and you're done, then you're immediately worn out because your body wants to rest and recuperate. So this was a really clever decision and an interesting way of wording it too. It's not just I wanted him to let his guard down. I wanted his exhaustion to set in, having completed his mission. Very, very clever decision, and it worked out perfectly. You're not very good with communication and do your own thing, huh? But it worked out, so all's well that ends well, I suppose. And then the whole setting of this is just, he's walking through with the shadows, and then just this golden light starts shining down. Ugh, it's so bright. But the sky's not the thing that's bright. It's Gojo. That's what's truly blinding. I mean, literally enlightened, right? It's like he's been freed from the shackles of mortality, of humanity. So we finally learn why they're called reverse techniques. Because cursed energy is negativity. It enhances the body. So a reverse technique is taking the opposite, creating positive energy. You multiply it against itself, as two negatives make a positive. And that allows it to do what it normally can't. That allows it to heal. That's really interesting. Playing around with the idea of negativity. Because it's negativity, negative emotions that give birth to cursed energy. So if you multiply with itself, not only you get something far stronger than normal power, which would be additive, multiplicative is obviously stronger, but the two negatives cancel out, it creates positive. And I suppose the cursed energy is destructive force, so that would make sense that positive, the opposite of it, would be regenerative. How interesting. What a interesting concept, and what an expression to have while saying it. Yeah, and you can tell. I mean, I was saying it during the episode. I mean, Fushidio hasn't actually lost control, right? He's very composed, as he always is. But looking at their expressions, he's completely lost control of the situation. And he's clearly lost before the fighting even started. Is it getting started? Maybe it is. I don't know. Because Gojo's not full of himself, right? He's just free. Maybe we are getting started. Maybe not. Doesn't matter either way. I'm just living in the moment. And he's just... Oh my god. And then we also learn about the three... Well, we have it explicitly explained from Fushidio, who's part of the Saiyan clan, so has a good understanding of the limitless power. The three different versions, the three different applications of it. One, to stop things, creating that infinite gap between you and the outside world. Two, to attract that magnet, that ball that's just absorbing and tearing things apart, not by pulling them apart, but pulling them into itself. And then here, where we finally see he accomplishes what he accomplishes properly is the red, which is repelling. And just like creating reverse techniques by multiplying negativity with negativity, we finally learn how purple works as well, and we see him pull it off for the first time. He combines... We'll get to that in a second. Where is it? Take the amplified and the reversal. The repelling and the attracting. Smash together those two different expressions in this absolutely gorgeous animation, this beautiful coloring, and oh, it is art. Oh, the two worlds, which we also see later with Gojo and Geto. Smash together the two different expressions. Hollow purple. And it's basically just a nuke. It's like creating a black hole. To create and push out imaginary mass, creating a contradiction in the world. How interesting. Okay, now let's go back to this line. Throughout heaven and earth, I alone am the honored one. There are different translations of this, but it is a reference to a line quoted by, if I recall correctly, the Buddha. And it's been used a lot out of context, but its original meaning was not. It's not a statement of superiority or of being above your fellow man. It's a statement that everyone should be uttering, that we are all honored ones, effectively. We are all uniquely honored. And we should all carry ourselves as if we are the honored one. In the context of JJK, Nanami uses it to describe how Sukuna, basically how Sukuna sees the world. Either that or how they see Sukuna. But this enlightenment, this one who stands above others. Again, not necessarily the original meaning of it, but it also could be. This could be, in a sense, whenever anyone reaches something akin to their own enlightenment, they utter this phrase. They utter this phrase acknowledging the fact that they are the honored one. And Gojo has reached this stage, so he utters it. And I mean, looking at him, he truly does seem like the honored one, the enlightened one. And then Fushidido reflects on himself. If you've watched My Hero Academia, the final season, I won't spoil it, but the main antagonist there experienced something similar to this. This isn't right. This isn't me. I shouldn't be doing this. They reflect after they've lost. What's gotten into me? But when I saw this, I had to deny it. This pinnacle of Jujutsu sorcery represents the Gojo clan, the Zain clan, the world of Jujutsu sorcery that rejected me because I don't have cursed energy. It stood before me and I had to do something. I twisted myself to try to affirm myself. Easily the quote of the episode. I'm sure most people would say it's what Gojo said with the throughout heaven and earth, but this is my favorite line of the episode. I twisted myself to try to affirm myself. I lost myself in my own narrative, twisting myself beyond recognition in order to conform to it. The world started changing. I started changing out of my own boundaries of the person I had defined for myself. And in order to try to fit myself back into that narrative, I twisted myself beyond recognition and died for it. And I only realized it after it was too late. That was the moment he lost control. I mentioned why it seemed like he had lost before he begun. That was what was different between this fight and the others. The others, he was doing his job. Here, he wasn't in a job. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. And that showed on his face. That showed in his loss of composure. And he lost for it. Every other fight, he'd been able to retreat and come back and do whatever he wants to do. But here, he couldn't face away from Gojo. He had to act. He felt compelled. And it caused him to lose half of his torso. And then just this moment where he just reaches out for his body, just clasps blood. That pride. I thought you had abandoned it, but you can't abandon your own humanity. Only Gojo gets to do that. I thought you had chosen to live without respecting yourself and anyone else. That's why he threw away his son. And that's why he did what he did, isn't it? The him that he's been living as all this time has no last words, no regrets. But now that he's realized he hasn't thrown away his pride, that he still has his human emotion, now that he's accepted not accepted, but now that he's acknowledged that he still has that, he's always had it. He decides to indulge in his own whim. My son will be sold off in 2 or 3 years. Do what you will with that information. And we know what he does with that information. He rescues him. Did Gojo really want to do that? Was that part of his own ends? Was it just him doing what he felt like? Or did Gojo actually see through this and realize and do it for the sake of Fushidio? I don't know. It's impossible to tell what Gojo's thinking, and that's kind of the point. It's like he's beyond humanity, beyond comprehension. He's not, but you can't help but think that way. Then this way, everyone's clapping. It made me think that, like, he came in and he basically became their new enlightened one. He became their new Tengen. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. Maybe they just saw how awakened he seemed and they decided he was worth worshipping too. Or perhaps that he was the true incarnation of what they've been. Or they're just happy. They're just enlightened in their own way. They're their own honored ones. They see him walking away with her and they're just clapping. They're like him. They're not held down by anything. I doubt I'd feel anything about it. It's hard to tell what you feel anything about anymore. There's no meaning. Does there have to be a meaning to kill them? Again, the complete betrayal of expectations. Our protagonist in the blood-red hallway, our antagonist in the cool blue open space. Open space, obviously it's indoors, but you know what I mean. With all the clapping, yet none of the cheer, at least not for us. But there has to be a point, especially for a Jujutsu sorcerer. Thinking from his worldview, probably because we stand on a higher plane. We have higher standards to live up to. Taking it a step away from Ghetto because they have more power, they have more responsibility, right? Shout out Uncle Ben. We have responsibility. We can do a lot more. So we need to restrain ourselves. We need to have a reason we do things. Otherwise the world will fall apart. God, the visuals in this are so beautiful. Just the darkness of him, the holy light around them. It almost feels like he's weighed down, he's entrapped, he's suffocated by his own desire to cling to humanity, his own battling with emotions while everyone else is just free. Is it a good thing they're free? Not necessarily. They're free to do horrible things and not feel bad about it too, potentially. If you're completely freed from emotion, from your humanity, you can commit atrocity without worry. So he may be shackled down, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's also preventing him from causing atrocity. It's allowing him to mourn for the loss of people. Struggling is inherent to the human condition. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, even though it causes pain. It's not necessarily a bad thing to cling to that humanity and all the pain that comes with it. So many interesting thoughts, so many interesting ideas being presented. I'm really curious how these will all come to a head. I think next episode, if not then soon, then we're getting near the end of this flashback story. Where we'll go from there, I have no idea. Well, I have one idea. I know the Shibuya incident is on the horizon, but I don't know where we'll go from here exactly. I don't even know how this will wrap up. But I'm excited. It's certainly been quite a crazy ride. I think slowly moving past from the last episode. I'm slowly moving on from it and getting ready for the next time Gege's gonna tear my heart out. I'm sure I won't be ready for it, but I'm sure you're excited for it. So whenever it happens, we'll just have to take it as it comes because we're living in the moment, right? We're accepting our humanity. We're being here. We're happy to grapple with the pain and the torture that comes with humanity because humanity is worth it. Why? I'm not sure. I just know it is. I just know it is. And who knows, maybe watching Gojo become enlightened, become distinct from humanity, maybe this will serve to help show us the value of humanity. Or maybe it won't. Geto's supposed to be our antagonist, so maybe Gege is challenging us not to see our humanity as something we should do no matter what. Who knows? Who knows? There's so many different ways this could go. I'm excited to see where it's going. If you're excited as well, please do subscribe. Be notified whenever the next one comes out. Please do like it if you enjoyed it. I already went through all that stuff. Leave a comment if there's something in the episode that I missed or I didn't talk about that you wanted to bring to my attention, or you want me to talk about more, or something I said you agree or disagree with. Some context you want to add to the episode. I would love to open discourse with you in the comments. But regardless, whatever you end up doing, thank you so much for watching, for taking the time out. I really do appreciate it. And until the next one, have a lovely rest of your day.